This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I love being here helping you with playing the guitar. In this quick answer episode, I'm going over augmented and diminished chords. So I'll explain these and then give some movable voicings. If you need help with a specific first position voicing, you can check out the quick answer episodes that are there on specific voicings, especially for the first position chords. But I'm going to go ahead here and explain augmented and diminished chords. We run into these from time to time. Down at the bottom, just with a key to these letters, capital M means major, lowercase m means minor, and A means augmented, and a D means diminished. Let's look at what that means. So an augmented chord, what is an augmented chord? Well, it's got a root, it's got a major third, and then it's got an augmented fifth, so a sharp 5. So like in the C chord, a C major chord has C, E, and G, root, major third, perfect fifth. So if we sharp that 5, meaning it goes up by a fret, that chord becomes augmented. So root, 3, sharp 5. The chord symbol for an augmented chord usually has a plus sign next to it, so like the root plus the plus sign, plus the plus sign. So C augmented, or it could have AUG period, short for augmented, so like B flat aug. Or it can, in parentheses, have a sharp 5, or even the plus 5 could be in parentheses, but if it's going to use sharp 5 to not be confusing with, say, F sharp as our root, then sharp 5 will be in parentheses. So that's some examples of chord symbols we run into with augmented. So that is, again, the root, the third, and the sharp 5 creates an augmented, just double the root on top, an augmented sound. So diminished then, what is this? And I'll go back, I'll say this is a major chord with a sharp 5 is how we get an augmented, and it's got two major thirds stacked on top of each other, a major third interval and a major third interval. So then the diminished, we have the root, the minor third, so just like our minor chord, and then we have a diminished fifth, or a flat 5. So root, flat 3, flat 5. Just like so. The chord symbol for this one, you're going to have the root and then an open circle, so like tells us it's diminished. Or you could have DIM period, short for diminished, so B flat diminished, for example. Or in parentheses, we might see that flat 5, so F sharp flat 5, or I guess you could see a minus 5 in there as well, in the parentheses. So that's how that shows diminished. So we'll look at some ways to play these on the guitar in movable shapes, and then if you're looking for something that's in first position as part of our normal, like C, F, E, A, those chords, there are quick answer episodes that explain how to play some of these in first position. So up here we'll start with the augmented ones, and these are just a couple of options. So off the 6th string, and I'm going to demonstrate everything with the root here at the 6th fret, so it's sort of in the middle of the neck. 6th fret, so on the 6th string, 6th fret, so this is a B flat. I can play, put my index finger there, and then my middle finger goes 1 fret higher on the 3rd string. Ring finger goes 1 fret higher than my index on the 2nd string. And pinky goes 2 frets higher on the 4th string. And then I'm muting the top string and the 5th string. So we get an augmented chord there. I'm doubling up on the root. Root in this voicing, and then I have 3 sharp 5. So that's how that works. Root, 3 sharp 5. Technically I could just play a little 3-string one, but it's nice to have that lower root in there as well. So that's a 6-string option for the augmented. I've got a couple different options for the 5th string. If we look at this one first, it's the same little shape. It's the same little augmented shape, but the root is in a different place. So if I go at that 6th fret, which is for E flat in this case, because that note is on an E flat, then 2 frets higher I put my middle finger on the 3rd string, 2 frets higher, I put my ring finger on the 2nd string, and then 3 frets higher than my index finger, I put my pinky, and I've got an augmented shape in there. With this one, I've got the root sharp 5, root 3, that's how that's voiced. And then of course muting the outside 2 strings. Another option which I like to use on the 5th string is to take what's actually like the C chord shape and just move it around. So if I put my ring finger, so the root is circled in all of these voicings, and whatever note that is where I've got it positioned on the guitar, that's the version that we're playing. But I've got the ring finger at the 6th fret of the 5th string, and then middle finger goes on the 5th fret of the 4th string, and then index goes on the next 2 strings. So 4th fret on 2nd and 3rd string, and then I'm muting the outside 2 strings. So for me, I'm just trying not to strum the 6th string, and then my index finger is just muting across the top. But that's another one. This one goes root 3, sharp 5, root. So it's a great way to play it, and actually you could just play it with the 3 and mute the 2nd string as well if you wanted to. It kind of depends on where you're coming from. If I've got a 5-string chord that I'm going with, it's going to suddenly become augmented. Sometimes I use the barre, or if I'm sitting here with like C7 that becomes augmented, it can be nice to just sort of maintain as much of the voicing that it's coming from as possible. So depending on what you're playing, one or the other might sound better. If we look at the diminished then, so a couple different ways to play the diminished on the 6th string. Let's look at the 5th string one first though. So E flat, again 6th fret on the 5th string. Then my middle finger just goes 1 fret higher on the 4th string. Ring finger goes 1 fret higher on the 2nd string, and pinky comes 2 frets higher there on the 3rd string, and then we're muting the outside 2 strings. So there's a diminished option. It's a great option. We can take that same sort of triangle shape and then put a low root on it. So if I go back in this with it like this, I've got the root, the diminished 5th, the root, and the flatted 3rd. But if I use the same triangle and then so my index finger is on the 6th fret of the 6th string, and I have to reach 2 frets higher with my middle finger on that 4th string, 2 frets higher with the ring finger on the 2nd string, and pinky goes 3 frets higher on that 3rd string. When I play it this way, I've changed where the root is. I've got the root, the flat 5, and the 3rd. That's how that's voiced. So that's a great option. Sometimes though, you might want to voice it a little different. Here's another one that can be used. So on this one, I just want to point out right here with the index finger, if you just stick the index finger, I've got it at the 5th fret of the 2nd string, because that's where we're going to have it. But then if I put my middle finger 1 fret higher on the next string, and then my pinky 2 frets higher on the next string, so 2 frets higher than here, so 3 frets higher than the index, I have a little diminished triad. And I could just play that, but in this case, what I'm doing is adding this low root. So index, my middle finger has to jump to that root, 6th fret, 6th string. Then my middle finger comes and fills in same fret on the 4th string, and then my pinky reaches 2 frets higher. And I've got to mute the 5th string and the top string. And this one's a little bit of a beast to get to, so that's why I included both. But this one sounds great. It's root, root, flat 3, flat 5. So that's how that's voiced. Okay, we run into these from time to time, and as I mentioned, if you need help with like a first position chord like A diminished or A augmented or something, check out the quick answer video that answers those specific chords, how to play those chords on the guitar. Hope you're having fun with the guitar. There's lots of these quick answer videos that talk about the different types of chords that we run into, so if you need help with specific chords when you're learning songs, this is a great place to come. Keep having fun with the guitar, and we'll catch you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.